So now let's discuss about prepositions. Prepositions in relative clauses. So they can, in general, come before or at the end of the relative clause. Before the relative pronoun, this tends to be more formal, or at the end of the relative clause, which is more informal and more common. Okay? So you have, for example, here, more formal with the preposition before the relative pronoun. See? The dog loved the people with whom it worked. The dog loved the people with whom it worked. Yes, it worked with the people. You cannot say worked at or worked in the people or something. No? So they can come before or at the end. Okay. So for example, you have here the same sentence: the dog loved the people with whom it worked. Remember, this is the relative clause over here. See? Is it helpful if I show? The dog loved the people. Right? This is like the main clause. Then you want to talk about. You want to say that the dog worked with those people. That's what you want to say. The dog worked with those people. So you're talking about the people. But you're talking about the people not as a subject of the relative clause, but it will be an object of the relative clause. See? Yes, with whom it worked. So this preposition with could be here in this position before the relative pronoun, or it could be at the end. Look, the dog loved the people it worked with. So either before the relative pronoun or after, you see? And then here, since it's after, the relative pronoun will be here by itself. This is more common and more informal. Then you have here some things that we do not use that and who with. For example, that is not used after the preposition. So we never say like this: the dog loved the people with that whom it worked, or with that it worked, for example. I think I should remove this whom over here actually. Remove this whom. The dog loved the people with that it worked. No, no, no. You cannot use that. Only whom. Okay, leave the who. Leave it. It's correct. You understand? Even though that is a pronoun that can refer to people, right? But you cannot use after the preposition. The dog loved the people with whom, not with that. Okay, you cannot say with that. Whom? Yes, relative pronoun. This relative pronoun referring to people. Okay? Then you can have the preposition here before the pronoun. Because imagine you had, for example, instead of whom, you had like that, right? For example, the dog loved the people that he worked with. Okay? Now, let's say you want to bring with before to the beginning. Then, the dog loved the people with, you cannot put that, you see? This you cannot do. Then you have to change, you have to say with whom. Yes. Then, another one that we would use sometimes is who, right? People who he worked with, or you could even put whom, right? Then, the dog loved the people with who, we don't say. Is it here? Who is not normally used as well. The dog loved the people with who, we don't say that. It's not used in this way. Even though this pronoun is okay for people, if there's a preposition here, it's not okay. English. No, imagine there is no whom. You want to use who, you cannot. Or at least we don't do that. Okay. You understand? I put whom because this is wrong, so I put the correct. With whom? No. You see, even though this is a bit more formal, remember we use who instead of whom most often. But you see in this position, then you use whom, you cannot use who. Not the people? Okay, not beings, for example. The dog loved the food. Okay? The food with what relative pronoun can I use now? So, you cannot use that after a preposition. His? His. It must be a relative pronoun. Which, yes. With which, for example, with which, dog love the food with which, huh? No, if you put with, you cannot put that. Only in a different order. For example, the dog loved the food with which, what can be with which? You have to think of the verb that matches with. Okay, maybe walk with. So I'll change a bit. Wait, walk with. So he loved the lash with which his owner walking? You understand my sentence? You know lash? You use to hold the dog. You use that to hold the dog. Lash. No, these are eyelashes. Eyelashes, very, very close, very close. Lash. Lash. Irish. No, iris. Yeah, lash. Dog, lash. Now you see? This is a lash. Okay, so I think my sentence is okay. The dog loved the lash with which his owner walking. Now let's do this with the... Is it? The dog loved the lash. So far it's not complex, no? Now the relative clause is a bit complex. Now you want to talk about the lash. You want to say his owner walks him with the lash. Do you understand? This is what I'm saying. And the first clause is the dog loved the lash. His owner walked him with the lash. So you want to put both together, you see? You have to practice, I think, this a lot to get it in your system, okay? The dog, now, I take this as a main clause. The dog loved the lash. Now I'm going to talk about the lash. Right? So lash would be, for example, that or which, right? For things, no? But his owner walks him with the lash. So that preposition, you can put either at the end or in the beginning, before the relative pronoun. So if we put it before, then it will be over here, with which. Then now the subject, his owner, walk him. Walks him. Understand? It's not so complex, you see? His owner walks him, and then in the relative clause, you take this, you see, with the lash, and you bring it to the beginning of the clause. With the lash, his owner walks him. You understand? His owner walks him. Sorry, walks him. You understand? So, the thing, remember the relative clause, we bring the object to the beginning, right? The relative pronoun as an object is in the beginning of the clause, before the subject, right? We've seen many examples, right? Do you follow? Then, if there's a preposition, you can bring it also in front. Yes. Now let's put the preposition at the end. The dog loved the lash. Now we're going to talk about the lash, which his owner walks him with. Yes. Now, because the preposition is here at the end, you could put instead of which, you could put that. Okay? You see? Yeah, other prepositions as well. This is just one example. With? You cannot use that. No, any preposition. With? Yeah, if the preposition is before the relative pronoun, it could be any preposition, not only with. Yeah. And then this relative pronoun can be that or who. Let's try one more. Let me see what. Okay, let's try one more. No? This is a bit difficult. Any suggestions? So always give me some suggestions. With another preposition, not with. For example, look at or believe in. Let's use believe in, for example. Okay, believe in. Believe in, right? Remember this verb believe always goes with this preposition in. Okay, so now you believe in something, right? Believe in something. So let's say Buddhists believe in something. Buddhists believe in the law of karma. Okay. Now let's take the law of karma and make a sentence with it. The law of karma was explained by the Buddha. Now let's try this, you see? It's a different position from the first. So now, I want to use this one as a main clause, otherwise my purpose will not match, okay? Both could be the main clause, but here for this exercise, we need to take this one as the main clause, okay? So, the law of karma was explained by the Buddha. Now we want to add something about the law of karma. We want to say that Buddhists believe in this law of karma. The law of karma, comma. Now, I can put the preposition in the beginning or at the end. Let's do it at the beginning first. In which Buddhists believe, finish, you see, was explained by the Buddha. The law of karma, in which Buddhists believe, was explained by the Buddha. Nice sentence. Now let's bring the preposition to the end. The law of karma, since it's not a non-defining, I put a comma. You see, the law of karma is something already clear, right? The law of karma, which Buddhists believe in, comma, was explained by the Buddha. Okay, you understand? Good. You see, now our relative clause is after the subject. You see, no problem. It can be after the object or after the subject, right? After the complement. One more. Yeah, you can take. Let's take this one, for example, as the main clause. Okay? Buddhists believe in the law of karma. Now we want to say that the law of karma was explained by the Buddha. So Buddhists believe in the law of karma, comma, was, no, never was, which was explained by the Buddha. No, not by which. No. Because by is by the Buddha, not by the law of karma. If you put by which, you're saying by the law of karma. Don't forget what which refers to. It refers here to the law of karma, so don't put by in the beginning over here. In this case, no, in another case it could be, for example. Okay. You understand? Is it difficult? Huh? Huh? Yes. Is it difficult? Let's make one more. I think we have to make some more, no? Even though it takes some time. Let's use some, remember? You have a verb that goes with a preposition. Can you remember from the lessons on prepositions? Tell me one verb that goes normally with a preposition. Succeed in? Yes. Belong to? Okay, I'll use belong to, okay? Belong to. Okay, now let's make a sentence with belong to. For example, this robe belongs to me. Then there's no preposition. This robe, yes, yes, yes. But I want to use a preposition. The robe belongs to me. I make another clause. For example, I am a monk. Let's see if this works. This robe belongs. I am a monk. Okay, I think it will work. So now I take this. Okay, in order to use to, I'll take this as the main clause. We want to join them, right? I am a monk. Now I want to say that the robe belongs to me. I am a monk. To now who or that or which or what or to whom or to which? Whom. To whom? I am a monk to whom this robe belongs. Okay, wasn't it difficult, but it came out. I'm a monk to whom this robe belongs. It's quite strange, we don't normally talk like this, but it's okay. I am a monk to whom this robe belongs, with a comma. I am a monk to whom. I feel like no comma, but yeah, it's not very clear to me. Okay, let's ask Connor if you want. Hi, Mon. Should I add a comma to the sentence? You do not need to add a comma. It's clear and correctly structured with non-restrictive clauses, or to clarify meaning. The clause is essential to the meaning. I am a monk to whom this rule belongs. Yeah, it's essential. It's essential. I feel like that, but it's a little different from the other cases we've seen. Let's try to put the preposition at the end. How would it be? I am a monk. Now, what should I put over here? What are the options? Can I put who? Yeah? Can I put whom? Can I put that? Can I put why? Okay, so I am a monk who this robe belongs to. Yes. Okay? Okay. A little bit difficult, no? A little bit difficult, no? Huh? One more way I can take, for example, this robe belongs to me. This robe belongs to me. Now I want to say I'm a monk. This robe belongs to me, and normally we don't say relative clause to first person. Okay? But we can do it. But it will be very, very formal and strict. To me, who is a monk? Yes. It belongs to me, who is a monk. It became quite strange. Who is a monk? Not who am a monk. Yes, this robe belongs to me, who is a monk. It's quite strange, right? We don't use relative clauses with first person. We don't say, we who do this, I who do that. It's possible, but we use it in cleft sentences. Yeah, something I think you haven't learned yet. Cleft sentences, they're very nice, but later this is later. They are used for emphasis. You can take something and change the whole order of the sentence. You can change the order of the sentence, okay? Cleft sentences. Copy this? I'll remove this one because it's not normally used. I am a monk who this robe belongs to, okay? Can you make a sentence? Can you make a sentence more or less like this, with the preposition before the relative pronoun and at the end of the relative clause? You need my phone?
No.
Okay. Okay. You want to try one more of these with two relative clauses? We haven't practiced much. Let's try one more. Something simple, but with two relative clauses about the same noun. Okay. Let's try, for example, the Buddha, who is an arahant, okay, and who lived in northern India. You see? Who is an arahant and who lived. Here I could say who is an arahant and lived. I could say this. Okay? and who lived in northern India was a human being. Or instead of this, I will say, is a historical. It's a historical person. Historical person means it's a person who is not invented, he really existed, it's historical. You have many historical proofs that the Buddha existed, you could say. Understand? So the main sentence is, the Buddha is a historical person. And I added about the Buddha that he's an arahant, and he lived in northern India, see? Since I have who 2 times, these two verbs, I don't need to repeat again the subject, this you have already learned. You have already learned this. Okay, yes, what? Yes, that's better. Good, very good. Very good. Okay, so you can't put 2 relative clauses, you see, you just use a conjunction. But if I say like this, look, if I remove this conjunction and I say like this, like more or less what Gambhira was doing, the Buddha, who was an arahant, who lived in northern India, then this who is referring to arahant. You understand? It's okay if that's what you want to do. But it will not refer to the Buddha, you know? You understand? Okay. Okay, so now it opened one more aspect. What is a prepositional verb and what is a phrasal verb? Okay? A prepositional verb and a phrasal verb. Pay attention, these things are not very easy. A prepositional verb, it's a verb that needs a preposition to give its meaning. It needs a verb that needs a preposition to express its meaning. For example, to look at, to believe in, to succeed in, to what else? To focus on, to wait for. Any others? Suffer from? I think suffer doesn't really need from, but yes. Because some verbs, they need a preposition. Understand? Some verbs, they can't have a preposition or they can be alone. Talk to, yes, to talk to. To talk about, to think about, yes. Okay, enough. Now, phrasal verbs are also verbs. Verbs, or let's use the same structure, a verb that goes with a preposition. So far it's the same. Now, this preposition is like, it modifies the verb, and it gives us different meaning. It's a preposition that is like an adverb, so adverbial preposition that changes the meaning. For example, to look after. To look after someone. It doesn't mean to look after, like he goes and you look after. It's not the meaning, understand? It's a completely different meaning. You understand? This is a phrasal verb. Get up. Some phrasal verbs are very common. Get up, for example. Phrasal verbs with get. Get up. What does it mean? To stand. Yeah, you can either from the bed or from your chair, but it means to stand. It doesn't mean to get up. You understand? It doesn't mean that. Get means usually like this, not like. It has a different meaning. Get down. More or less, sometimes you can understand, but get down means like to cover yourself. For example, something is about to fall down. Get down. You know, like or get off. Get off the bike. Get off the bike. For example, turn on. Turn on. Huh? Send off. Send? To send like a message? Send off. Send off. See off. Yeah, see off. Yes, let's see him off. Yeah. So these are phrasal verbs. So to look after, see, sometimes you have to add something, someone off. To see off someone, no, to see someone off. So phrasal verbs are a bit difficult in English, okay? It's another topic that we haven't touched much. To see someone off, or to get up, to take off your clothes, to fall asleep. I think it's not. I think asleep is not a preposition, maybe it's not. I'm not sure, Huh? Fall off? Yes. To fall off, I think. Fall off. Fall off. Not very sure about this one. To keep on? To keep on. Maybe. Hang on, it seems very clearly. To hang on. Hang up. Okay. So, do you see the difference? Do you see a difference or not? Yeah? Pick up. to pick someone up or something, to pick something or someone or somebody. Okay, we're gonna study phrasal verbs one day. Okay. Now Dominion is studying phrasal verbs. Olivia, no, he's not. But Dominion is studying, I think, phrasal verbs. Okay. Do you see the difference? This one, it means a preposition, but it doesn't have like a completely different meaning. And that preposition is like not like an adverb that changes the verb. This one, it's a completely different meaning. It's quite strange. Okay. So this, because this preposition changes the meaning, it's an adverb. Remember? Adverbs change verbs. Sometimes other things, right? Yes. Okay, so if you have a sentence with a phrasal verb, then you cannot bring that preposition to the beginning. It has to stay with its verb. Okay? Okay, this in a moment I'll finish. Look, this person I have already told you that relative clauses often refer to a third person. So you can refer he who does that, she who does that, for example. But we don't normally say I who do that, or you or we. So first person is not common. It's very formal. Sometimes it may appear, okay, in a very formal setting. But this first and second person reference is used commonly in cleft sentences, okay? Cleft sentences you don't need to know aloud, but it's something like this, for example. I told you, okay? This is a normal sentence. Then, you want to emphasize I. You say, it was I who called you. You understand? You understand? Or you can emphasize you. It was you whom I called. You see? You have to master the relative clauses to do cleft sentences. You understand? Yeah, it's very nice. You can emphasize things. Yeah, it's a bit like this. Yeah, it's like this. Okay? So cleft sentences later, you can emphasize things. Yes. For example, this sentence over here can take, I think, almost any sentence. First and second person reference is used commonly in relative clauses of cleft sentences. For example, you can emphasize on relative clauses. It is used commonly in relative clauses. So I could say, it is in relative clauses that first and second person reference is commonly used. Is it? Yeah, you just take something you want to emphasize and you bring it to the beginning of the sentence. Okay? But now you don't need to know this. So now I added some exercises. It should be a link, so you should be able to click on this and it will bring you to an exercise. Okay? Some of these exercises are elementary level, should be easy. Then a little bit more like B level, intermediate. So I suggest you do all of them. Even all of these might not be enough. Okay, because we went a bit deep on this matter, it's a bit complex. So now, I'll stop talking. And you work a bit by yourselves. Ready to do these exercises. And we just have technically 5 minutes, so just start. Begin the exercises.